I don't want to cancel him from Taiga. I want to discredit him. Basically, these two people met in the Discord.
What, but so crazy that they're like, I want the police to look at something that doesn't exist. I guess I just don't see that. Wait, so this is all drama that happened like 3 years ago, 4 years ago?
Well, that will protect minors because no one will know that they're minors.
So when Taiga was like 19 or below?
Yeah.
Okay, alright, okay. I've always said that Nux had like barely any impact on what happened to Taiga. Take a stand here, say this content's not okay. Okay, so obviously everyone knows I've basically been like, I don't care if this gay little boy is a Shotacon, this Taiga VTuber is a Shotacon, I just don't care. And that's been mostly tags. It was a Shotacon, and when they were a teenager, asked for nudes of another minor teenager. Yeah. They were they were like 19, the teenager was under 18, they asked for nudes. So, they were 17 specifically, but it was asking a third party. It's a complicated, anyway, point is, okay, there isn't anything like super, like, if you're not like on board with like the crazy lolly and Shota virtue signaling, there's not really a whole lot to go off of. However, there is one thing that I only just heard about the other day that no one mentions in any of their videos because they spend way too much time talking about drawings. Saying that we should feel so bad for the poor little girls and boys getting abused in these drawings that never existed. But instead, we've got something actually kind of bad that seems to have happened. So let's see. Let's hear Beckett talk through some of this and show the evidence.
That was not the end of this, though. The stalker, who was very rich, a self-described millionaire, would fly from France to Canada, driving to Taiga's town to stalk him IRL. In this video, you can see exit 151 Lake Avenue, which is in Ottawa, Ontario. This was on December 23rd, 21. He did other traveling around Canada and did not leave the country until Jan 2022. Which, again, I've seen some of this. I don't know, like, look, this guy was obsessed, but I don't know, like, how strong those stalker accusations are. Again, thing gets lost over time, but I don't trust the framing of any of this at all. He also made threats of lawsuits against Taiga for simply discussing stalking material. As he is extremely rich, he was able to bully, harass, stalk people and make them fear attempting to get legal recourse with his large fortune. His threats to Taiga, allegedly commenting about his stalking amount to abuse despite revealing Taiga's legal name all over his exposed website. Taiga fears trying to legally go after the stalker, as he suspects the stalker's goal is to tie Taiga up in costly legal battles he cannot afford. A very fair and valid fear. I have censored the legal document the stalker shared on Twitter as it reveals Taiga's name and city, and he also at times attempted to apologize to Taiga after having labeled him a pedophile. An odd move to be sure. If you confirm someone as a pedophile, I cannot imagine wanting to apologize or go back on the good graces. However, despite claiming to be done months ago on his website, he is still harassing Taiga, going as far as threatening to sue Twitch for having Taiga on the platform. Now, isn't that good that he would not share the name of somebody who, you know, they're looking at? Like, Taiga's privacy is really important, especially when you don't know all the facts. It'd be wild if these two were sharing Azzy's private information, wouldn't it? That would be crazy. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about who these fucking people are. So let's go for the allegations. Where are we? Okay. This is Taiga talking to Adrian's reality. I have literal proof of the guy who accused me of raping a girl. Adrian's reality. Actually, I think my enemies are par for my life. I correct myself. Taiga. And on top of messages he sent me also about rape, and on top of the fact that I witnessed him groom a girl while he was still in my circle. Adrian's reality. I'm certainly not saying they're right. It's awful, and I don't like that it happened to you. Taiga, surely that's enough to clear my name and discredit this asshole, right? I don't want to cancel him from Taiga. I think your tweet was great. I want to discredit him. I am desperate for my old life back from before all this shit happened. Taiga, the fastest way to clear my name would be to show that he slandered me and lied. And if a court agrees with me, there isn't much more concrete proof than that. Adrian's reality.
So some of this evidence is just like, I don't know what Beckett thinks some of this shows. Like, this seems fine, though. Isn't this fine? This is fine to say The fastest way to clear my name would be to show that he slandered me and lied, and if a court agrees with me, there isn't much more concrete proof than that. That's like fine. That's a fine thing to say.
The way to clear my name would be to show
There are
that...
ways reading it in the like, we got you voice. That's like that. It sounds like someone who feels like they've been wrongfully accused of something, laying out how they would clear their name of that wrongful accusation.
He slandered me and lied, and if a court agrees with me, this isn't much more concrete. There isn't much more concrete proof than that. Adrian's reality. I see. Blue Jay. Yeah, it's irresistible to think that who amid that tragedy doesn't think that. Taiga, yeah. If only I had something big to discredit guilt, other than common sense. Blue Jay. From my experience, truth is unlimitedly powerful. You can rely on the judgment of others when you stand what's true against what's not. Jesus fucking Christ, you anime retards. Plenty of innocent people are in jail from Taiga. Taiga, how much influence do you have in Australia? Like, can you make sure the victims' rape reports are seriously looked at? I'm stupid for asking. Sorry, lol. Adrian's reality. I'm pretty powerful, like, just in general. Taiga, what info do you need to help me get Azzy arrested? Adrian's reality. Do you have his personal details?
Like, so here's the thing, right? On one hand, yeah, I think I saw parts of this. I just haven't had the full situation. This is almost like impossible to determine whether this is like malicious or not here. Because saying, can you show the victim's rape reports are seriously looked at? They're not saying it has to be bolted on, but then asking, help me get them arrested. Like, this is showing more a very self-interested motivation.
Arrested. Adrian's reality. Do you have his personal details? Depends on which personal details. He might have shared some with me at some point. What do you need? Adrian's reality. Anything the police can use to look him up. An address or employer are best. Phone numbers are great because it's direct. Otherwise you'll need to summon social medias and that's complicated. Taiga, first and last name, city, Australia. Adrian's reality. That is enough. Taiga, okay. That's also where the victim lives. Azzy made me say and do so much shit I wouldn't have if I wasn't in constant proximity to him. It is, but the community doesn't see it that way. My experience erased because Azzy and guilt cancelled me.
I just totally removed it from my memory.
Also
what did I say back then?
Groomed me for years. The fuck? And I only got the confidence to ban him once I got my own community and started streaming, but that's barely worth mentioning since any of my personal experiences will be instantly discredited on the basis of me...
Mixed opinions in chat as to whether we've covered this already.
...being biased. Yeah! No shit! Also, the fuck? I thought he was your mod for like 2 months. Where has this come from?
Okay, well, mod for 2 months doesn't mean they didn't know each other for longer. Okay, I saw parts of it. I'm starting to feel like maybe...
Also, the fuck? I thought he was your mod for like 2 months. Where has this come from? Just remember that Azzy mods IRL for Guppy, and IRL Guppy is fully aware of the accusation that Azzy's part that supports him halfway because she said too much awful shit to me to back down. If Azzy goes to jail, sorry, you can't see the top of that. I apologize. If Azzy goes to jail, it's a happy chat. If Azzy is arrested, I can prove he groomed me. I have specific details about the day Azzy intentionally lied about. Azzy remembers what happens between walking home in the park and the victim doesn't. Taiga, what info do you need to help me get Azzy arrested? I sent blanket videos of Azzy basically admitting to rape. I got the chance to confront Azzy today about the rape allegations. I see at first I thought Azzy only groomed the girl. The other guy, Guilt, collaborated with on the doc as he came up with some bogus screenshots of alleging some more bullshit like transphobia and racism among some others that were more disgusting shit. But you want to know what's rich? I fucking banned Azzy 2 years ago for flirting with server members, including minors on the server. There are screenshots of Azzy talking about how he's going to take a certain minor out for drinks and how he bets she's a lightweight. Azzy, again, was 19. The minor at the time was 17. They went out for drinks around the minor's like 18th birthday. They're teenagers. They're fucking teenagers. Pyrocynical French girl.
Okay, but when does this happen? When is Taiga?
Listen, it's 2024. Cynical.
When is this log from?
A lightweight. As he talking about how he's going to take a certain minor at the time was 17. They went out for drinks around the minor's like 18th birthday. They're teenagers. They're fucking teenagers. Pyrocynical French girl. Listen, it's 2024. We'll see what happens. Okay. Some girl talked about taking her out for drinks and now accusing Azzy of raping her on the literal day of her 18th birthday after he got her super drunk and super high. This is all alleged, of course. I'm just reporting the facts. This is all alleged, of course. I'm just reporting the facts. Just to clear it up as well, from what I can find, super drunk and super high was one drink and one puff of weed. I've also heard other things about this chick.
Where's that coming from, though? Like, who's saying that? Is that the guy saying that?
Which are a bit weird as well. I've also actually never seen her accusations, I don't think. I don't know if this happened. We'll get to a little bit of that in a second. But Azzy then has the fucking balls to accuse me of transphobia to the very same girl he is now being accused of sexually assaulting, so that's pretty interesting. So yes, that is Taiga having conversations with Adrian and everything else. Now you may be wondering, wow, what about the investigator themselves? This is the investigator themselves. They don't just have a single fucking history here. They have kind of a wider history with stuff. And like a couple of other things, I think involving Keffels and things. They don't seem to be around much anymore. Before we get to them, there is another pedo hunter who I want to bring up. Who is interesting because they also include information which seems very similar, which includes like full docs information about Azzy. Like all this information got sent out, and when looking into that person, quite a lot of little similarities were found. Not enough to confirm anything, but either those two people are very friendly, or they're the same person. It seems like one of the two. Right? They cleared Keffels too, if I remember correctly. Shocking. Aren't the victim and Azzy just a year apart? Yeah, pretty much. Nanny shilling her services. Okay. Fuck, did I miss a super chat, by the way? Hold on, let me scroll up. No, I didn't. I don't think I did anyway. They always fumble the bag, yeah. I don't know. This is not the year for pedo hunters, really. So, but there we go. So, do you see the fact that, like, this whole thing about, like, Azzy and everything getting discredited in Burns' document? It's all making a bit more fucking sense now, isn't it? Oh, I'm just a little independent investigator. You spoke to Taiga. Now, those DMs are with Adrian. I think that's Adrian, the stalker donator. Jenny will correct me later if I'm wrong. But again, Taiga is actively trying to use people to get Azzy fucking arrested because he criticized them. In a strange twist, I'm today doing an unexposed. Originally planned to be anonymous, but that decision was changed, and I won't edit the document as it's finalized as of the exoneration of Bungo Taiga. I dug into a femboy VTuber who was accused of being a pedophile. Surprise twist, what I found was a victim of stalking, harassment, and pedo-jacketing. Isn't this interesting? Taiga has been upfront and honest even about the most uncomfortable things and mistakes he has made.
Okay, guys, we're gonna ask Beckett. Beckett's gonna try and give us some more detail. Okay.
So
Hi. Yeah, I just want to know more about because I don't think I've covered the fake rape accusation or the alleged fake rape accusation used against this
You're cutting out on me a bit.
Is it alright on my stream? Could people hear me on the stream?
Yeah, your mic just sort of peaks and cuts out for me over Discord. Can you just restart the call? Is that alright?
I can change my mic on Discord. 1 second.
Okay. So.
How's this? Is that okay?
Yeah, that's much better.
Okay.
Cool.
So the rape accusation on Azzy is what?
Yeah, it's like super early, and it's been a while since I looked at the docs. So if I get some factual data wrong, like that's sort of like the prerequisite.
Yeah. It doesn't. I'm not gonna hold you super hard to data
sure.
or anything like that. So
okay, cool.
Okay. So what is the claim here? Where is this idea that it was one drink and one joint or whatever coming from?
So that came from basically these two people met in the Discord, but they lived in the same country.
Okay.
When I believe when this person was like on their 18th birthday, as he went out and had like one drink and they'd like had a smoke, and then they may or may not have had sex. And then there was a claim that there was some kind of pressure which got spun into a rape accusation from Taiga months down the road when Azzy had come out with the document, or like against them. I can't remember the exact timeline, but it was significantly later.
Okay, what were Azzy's claims against Taiga?
So Azzy's claims against Taiga were like a couple of things. So firstly, there was like the Shota claims, which have been gone over to death. But also that Taiga was largely abusive to his community and particularly his mod team, which also very cringe, don't get me wrong. But like that was kind of like why a load of the mods ended up turning on Taiga, because Taiga was quite demanding. Taiga also had like, there was another previous Discord server where one of the mods was like friends with Taiga, or they had like a much closer relationship. And Taiga would sort of trauma dump and like bitch to the other mods about this guy not turning up because they had like insanely parasocial relationships.
Okay. So so a bunch of Shotacon moderators put together a document calling this guy Shotacon. And they're all obviously Shotacons because they were moderating for a Shota femboy VTuber. So
I don't want to start throwing out accusations. I mean, I sort of assume so. They're all fucking VTube fans, right?
Like, yeah, it just seems like this Azzy person. So if Taiga, I heard you saying this. I thought Azzy was your mod for 2 months, but it sounds like this Azzy person has a longer history.
Yeah, some of it's really fucking unclear, and that again is because like the mods themselves like have issues around them. Azzy, we did reach out and try to talk to them. Nobody will talk about this after not the Nux drama. That isn't what caused the biggest problem. It was another VTuber whose name escapes me, but they came out with the accusations and then got completely like nailed into the ground. And then this exoneration document came out. And the exoneration document is largely bollocks. I mean, reading through the exoneration document, it's basically, well, Taiga did do these things, but they don't do them anymore. I've been in the Discord for like a month now, and it seems really safe. So it's not really a problem. So
I mean, I think the whole idea that it was like a private investigator and all this shit was always retarded, like VTube community LARPing to me. The moment.
Well, this person was attached to the Keffel's exoneration document as well. Same person.
Keffel's exoneration.
When I believe it was to do with the accusations around Catboy Ranch. I'd have to dig it up though. But I believe it's the same person. This person, the person who wrote the exoneration document, is also, as far as I can tell, and I believe it's Harmful who dug through this stuff. It's the same person who like doxed Azzy and made a load of dox documents on people because they're like a fucking wannabe predator hunter.
Right. Yeah. I mean that doesn't sound crazy surprising to me. But okay.
Sure.
So it says Taiga did all these things, but doesn't do them anymore. So what are the bad things that Taiga did in your eyes? What are like the worst things?
So I think the reason I hold like major issues around Taiga is Taiga will go to IRL stuff like to the extreme. I mean, it's like the DMs with the eDaddy person where he's just trying to get Azzy arrested. And also when that relationship fell out, you know, the claim that this guy was stalking him, for example.
Okay, to be fair, you said he just wanted to get Azzy arrested. But yeah. I mean, he says in those DMs, it's kind of like he doesn't straight up say like, I want this guy fucking arrested for bullshit. He says, I want the claims of the victim seriously looked at.
But Taiga didn't have the claims of the victim. Taiga, those claims of the victim were like, as far as I can tell from these documents, the victims never really claimed anything. They said they had a weird interaction, and then months later, Taiga spread it into a rape allegation.
Just like not around, or
yeah, and then Taiga spun it into a rape accusation months later to slander Azzy.
Okay, but what but then why would Taiga be saying they want these claims of the victim seriously looked at if there's no claim? That seems
because Taiga's crazy.
What? But so crazy that they're like, I want the police to look at something that doesn't exist.
Well, they don't look at it that way. They just want to fuck with Azzy. So they probably didn't think they could get Azzy arrested, and they weren't like. Again, they don't care about victims or anything. And again, I'm not throwing that as like that bad because I don't care about the victims. But like Taiga doesn't care. Taiga just wants to get rid of Azzy and wants to like make Azzy pay. Because again, it's a deeply parasocial thing. Taiga's not just thinking, at least in my view, not just thinking, oh, I need to get away from the allegations. Taiga's thinking, you fucking betrayed me. I'm going to have you.
I guess I just don't see that, especially when Taiga's saying, I don't want to cancel him, I want to discredit him. Like, that's saying explicitly that it's not a vengeance thing. They're not trying exact harm. They're trying to defend themselves from the allegation.
Okay, but if you're talking to somebody and you want to look like the victim, what are you going to say?
Yeah, but why would they feel so motivated to have to portray themselves in such a good light when it's already their sugar daddy that's probably got loads of connections and willing to do everything for them anyway? Like,
because Taiga's public opinion position is very much like, I'm a victim of these things, feel sorry for me, I'm always being harassed. That's just the way Taiga portrays themselves.
I mean, I guess, but then, like, you show. I feel like when the evidence is saying, they're explicitly stating, I don't want to take this too far. I just want to discredit him. I just want to clear my name and have my old life back. There's never. Okay, they're not talking about being vindictive at any point here.
How does going after? How does I have literal proof of the guy who accused me of raping a girl? How does that help exonerate Taiga?
Well, because the allegation that this guy came out with was, is it not primarily about, well, the most weighty one that I heard was this whole thing of asking for a minor's nudes from this moderator or whatever. Like, if you come out and say, well, okay, yeah, they're accusing me of asking for this minor's nudes on Discord. However, they raped a teenager. I mean, that does kind of discredit what they're saying a little bit, no?
Well, okay. So let's look at what those claims were when we're talking about it. So they had Discord interactions. Taiga knew about them months later, and then needs to find a way to discredit Azzy. That's just finding anything he can use to go after Azzy, isn't it? Because
okay, but there's no instance of Taiga talking about this before saying I need to discredit Azzy.
Not that I've seen, no. None. In fact, actually, there is I believe in the Discord, there are messages where this comes up and Taiga basically just ignores it. It's not brought up till months later.
I can't see the dates on these messages. I
might still have them in a folder somewhere. In fact, I probably do. But not to hand, obviously.
I'm being blind. 1 second. I have to move closer.
See,
1/11/2021.
But I can't work out what the date profile is. Oh, okay. So it's day, month, year. So it's the 1st of the 11th.
Wait, so this happened in... So these logs are 2021. So when was Taiga's accusation document? When did that happen?
Early 2021.
Wait, so this is all drama that happened like 4 years ago?
Yeah, the Taiga stuff's been going on for ages.
Well, I know it's been going on for ages. I knew that the logs where Taiga asked for the nudes or whatever, I knew those were from when Taiga was 19 and he's 23 now, so I knew that was 4 years ago. But yeah, I didn't realize that literally the entire thing literally just happened. Everything happened back then and they're just still talking about it.
I believe so. I mean, again, I'm doing this off memory, right? So... Because the thing you've got to understand as well, the documents are spread out over a significant amount of time. Like the mods came out once, Taiga made a response document, and then I believe something else happened which led to the exoneration document. So even the documents in the drama are spread out over years. It's not like a condensed pit. It's not like
has anything actually. So like, has anything actually happened recently?
No, people just keep bringing it up, and then it leads to the conversation again because because like Taiga is like constantly controversial. And then the thing that brought this up again and why it ended up being talked about by Nux was Taiga's channel got taken down for sexually explicit content.
Yeah.
But it's like, even with the Nux stuff, actually, I'm completely wrong there. Sorry, apologies. Even with the Nux stuff, it's because he brought it up on Moist Critical when he was talking about drama with VTubers.
Well, yeah, that happened ages ago. But the reason why it started getting spoken about again now was because Taiga's channel
was Taiga's channel
recently.
Got taken out. Yeah.
So, okay. I mean...
I am having to do some of this off memory. It was months ago that I covered this, don't forget. But... you know, Harmful looked into it as well. I believe Nicandros has looked at some of this stuff. But it's a difficult one because...
I guess I do just wonder why there's so many people that give a fuck then. I really am just confused because it all seems like shit that...
Well, I probably wouldn't...
Well, basically when they were like 20.
Well,
19,
I wouldn't
20,
have...
And then mid-20s now.
I think it's because Taiga's kind of fucking annoying. Whenever this stuff comes up, they're just, it's like VTuber drama is so fucking vicious that it's kind of interesting to look at. But I mean, it's like the Shoda stuff, for example, like the claim that Taiga's never done this since. I mean, there's no evidence against that. Nothing that I have seen has ever come out being like, oh, here's Taiga's new commissions. So he may well have stopped. I've got no fucking idea. The Stalker stuff, I mean, again, it's a content creator who slanders people. It's just somebody's like ancient drama for a content creator who's largely, let's be honest, deplatformed anyway. I probably wouldn't be talking about it like over like the course of streams if Mudaha hadn't brought it up. And if you weren't talking about it a bit. I mean, where do you stand with Taiga? Like, give me your take, I guess, because I've not. The only coverage I have seen of you on this topic is a section of like the VOD you brought out.
I'm reading these tweets from the time. It seems like the shit they were saying about this alleged rape are really fucking stupid. And like, it seems like they were like, this does seem like almost a Slazo-esque situation where they're just like out here riding for these dog shit accusations that don't have a lot of water.
Yeah,
but I guess that is like the worst thing that I've seen. Is just like, okay, so when
that's why it's like, again,
20,
like I think I said this at the time, like
someone who was running with false accusations against that one, essentially false accusations against them, because I mean none of these people give a fuck that Taiga is a Shotokan.
Well, no, I also agree with you. I think you could probably point to some potential risk to the Discord. And I'm using this very loosely because, again, I think this is just another claim. But, like, so Taiga's Discord, and this was, like, the basis of the grooming allegations. Taiga doesn't age verify for his Discord, but very specifically, Taiga had a rule in his Discord, don't know if it's still there, where nobody was allowed to say their names, and people would be, like, timed out for saying what their age was. And Taiga's argument for this was, well, that will protect minors because no one will know that they're minors, which is a bit fucking weird. But sure, maybe he's just really retarded. Or it could be that,
Wait, when was that Discord rule in place? When was that Discord rule in place?
I guess it would have been before the original allegations. So
when Taiga was like 19 or below.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, okay.
Look, I mean, you can say, listen, I'm not trying to like pose to you like in this conversation.
It's just like it feels like every time it comes up, I'm presented with stuff where it's like Taiga's not that you're saying this, but Taiga's a pedophile because, and then it's like teenager and teenager interactions, and it's like is this really what we're going with? Teenagers speaking to each other inappropriately 4 years ago. It's like that you could not find a thing that scratches my pedophile itch less than that.
Pedophile itch. I guess. Look, the false rape accusations, I think, are insanely egregious, and the fact that they've never really been focused on or like widely discussed, because it all focused down on the Shota stuff, and like me, I don't like that shit. But I'm also, even with the food shops drama, I only called food shops a pedophile when food shops called herself a pedophile.
Yeah, I know.
I've always held that standard, but. Yeah, I think the rape stuff's really egregious. I will say this about the e-stalker, like the sugar daddy. The stuff that sort of seemed to spin out there was really weird. I know other people have looked at this more, and there is literally like a massive fucking archive of shit from this guy. He is like a crazy millionaire. But it seems to be
type character.
It's weird. It's weird. I mean, again, though, I do think Taiga appears to have gone at them first, and maybe unfairly, but also, I don't know. You're giving, like, I can't remember what the amounts were, but it was like insane amounts of money. I think it was like near 100 grand or something to a fucking VTuber cat boy. I mean, like, fucking, you kind of made your bed.
There's something wrong with you. Yeah, for real.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't. My issue, if you want my core issue, it's that whenever I hear Taiga brought up in the current context, it's like, well, there were a load of false allegations against Taiga, and he's just an innocent cat boy who happens to like odd drawings. And I'm like, look, if people don't have that position, that's fine. But it irks me when I see the stuff around Azzy, because I think false rape accusations are really serious. That's where I sit.
I guess my sympathy diminishes when you're getting the false rape allegations as retaliation for the false pedo allegations.
I can see that perspective, I suppose. I won't disagree
Like,
with you there entirely.
Taiga shouldn't do it, and you know, I don't know if they've owned up to it or whether they've admitted that this is kind of like a retarded rape allegation. But ultimately, I understand why some emotional freak, if you accuse them of being a pedophile after supporting them doing Shotacon content for fucking years.
Well, this is the problem with it. This is the problem with the VTuber community, though, and it's the same problem with the load of fucking these young autist communities. Everyone's got these standards of, oh, you shouldn't have a fucking 2-year age gap, or oh, you shouldn't look at risque drawings. But the minute one person in the group gets kind of like caught with it, everyone freaks the fuck out. So, like, I don't know, it's difficult, and it's obviously like a lot of the base, at least obvious to me, the base of those documents, even from people like Azzy, isn't, oh, we need to protect victims. It's Taiga we were mods for Taiga, we built a very strong parasocial relationship with him, and then we felt slighted. And from Taiga's perspective, it's, I built a very strong parasocial relationship with my mods because this is like his whole fucking world, and they slighted me. This whole thing is like hurt feelings. It's just that everyone involved, because it's VTuber drama, is psychotically vindictive.
Oh, no way, Aiden. Dude, I've just seen something. Aiden took my advice. Oh, no.
What?
I am leaking DMs. I'm leaking away the conversation. So he dude, this guy, this is shameless. He messaged me the other day and he said, give me a good bait tweet idea for death penalty shit. And I said, literally anything about child molesters, and then gave him some ideas. Jeffrey Epstein deserved to live, or your abuser deserved to live. And he has tweeted, yes, child molesters and rapists should live. And now Augie is fucking replying to him, fighting. God. Saying that he's copy and pasting veto.
Is he like running from a debate with you?
Yeah, he ran just 20 minutes ago.
What the fuck? He's like running. He's like going at morale, saying morale's.
I was watching your fucking terrible bullshit. Now recording segment on Femios and Bunk that had nothing to do with Femios and Bunk for 90% of the runtime.
I don't know why you keep clicking on the now recording.
And well, because I thought I know now recording has done a video on Mango Neon Caffeine, Femios' trans brother/sister before, and so I expected to hear some information about Femios and Bunk, and I was thoroughly disappointed. So I tried to call Aiden because he was telling me all about the Rhode Island House of Horrors, I believe they call it. And I wanted to hear more about it, and then he ran.
Yeah, the Femios stuff's like interesting. Have you ever seen Femios put out a stream once where they were accused of having a Discord full of people saying the N-word and lolicon, which is something that Femios previously is against, by the way, just to be clear. And then their answer was to come on stream, play a harmonica, and badly sing the fucking Toxic Gossip Train song, and claim that they were too busy with college to run a Discord.
Okay. So do you know what's going on with Femios and Bunk? What's happened to Bunk?
I don't know. Is like Femios Bunk? Like I think she's pink pilling Bunk, but like Bunk. Like, Bunk fucked off and started doing IRL politics stuff and developed an opioid addiction. That's kind of my understanding of where Bunk is at the moment.
Well, they weren't really doing, like, IRL politics stuff, were they? It was like a bunch of druggies that all live in the same house saying, we're going to go put up someone for election.
Yeah, it was like PV drug addiction.
I mean, that's just PV. It was like PV, but just they only had one house. Oh, thank you for the raid lyrics. Welcome in, lyrics raiders. Thank you. Cunny gang in. But yeah, anyway.
Yeah. But yeah, Taiga, that's kind of where I stand with it. Like, here's my genuine question for this. When you started covering Taiga, I'm guessing your general view is it's drawings, it was a while ago, who gives a shit? Would you say that because, like, the fact that you dislike Nux so much has an impact in that? Is that a driving factor?
No, because I always basically said that like Nux didn't. I've always said that Nux had like barely any impact on what happened to Taiga. Like it was bad for him to repeat that shit the most critical, but I mean he did apologize for it. Probably should have taken the video down, but did apologize for it at one point. And the brigading and well, if you can even call it brigading, but the taking down of Taiga's YouTube channel had nothing to do with Nux. I always said as much.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it does just seem to be for the sexual content because Taiga's content is risque, to put it lightly.
The thing is, my only issue with it is that there are like Taiga was doing the same shit every VTuber's doing, right? Not every single one, but broadly, there are plenty of channels out there that are doing the exact content that Taiga was doing.
Oh, you're not going to find any argument from me here on this one.
It's like, I don't like that Taiga got singled out. It's sort of like, it's like one of the, it's like everything or nothing. Okay, take a stand here, say this content's not okay, and remove it all. Or
well, it's like I was going over the burnt toaster or evil toaster allegations because I saw somebody sent me like a VTuber named Hex's video, and she was like, "This is the worst thing ever. He needs to be deplatformed. He's harassed these girls. He's used his power of position of power. This dude has like 1,000 views a video. Literally, no one gives a fuck about him. He used to be like some Overwatch guy, and then you look at the like DMs." And he's just like a lonely incel who these VTuber girls like led on and then wrote an exposed document on. It was like completely fucked. And yeah, so I don't know. The VTuber community, because they're all fighting each other for audience, they're all very, very, very keen to cancel each other at the drop of a hat because the audience are incredibly fickle. They'll move from VTuber to VTuber very, very quickly.
Right, yeah.
So yeah, the community's fucked. VTuber drama is really, really fucking messy. But yeah, I still think Taiga's bad. But I think it's kind of like the Nux stuff. I don't really go at Nux for the lolly or hentai shit because I'm like, he's a VTuber. It's kind of like criticizing artists for drawing like Sonic porn. I'm like, what are you doing? That's just every artist. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I mean, my problem with like this is the difference between the way Nux engaged with it and the way Taiga engaged with it. To me, is like Taiga is not going to tell you they're not a fucking Shotacon. They say they want to fuck little anime boys. I know exactly what's going on. I know what their stance is. I know what they think of this stuff, and I don't see any behavior that changes that image for me. With Nux, he wants to play this very careful game where he doesn't defend any of the lolly or Shotacon stuff, but he does pump it out onto a platform that is watched entirely by children. Like his YouTube channel is a channel for teenagers. So he doesn't want to like come out and defend it and say, I don't see a problem with drawings. He wants to leave it ambiguous that, he might see a problem with it, yet he's still pumping out to kids. Which is like, well, no, there's no way you think there is any harm that can come from this if you're pumping it towards kids, because the best arguments are stuff like children seeing relationships between adults and minors can normalize that to them and make them more susceptible to grooming, and hardcore forced or coercive pornography can have an adverse impact on a child's development if they see it. Stuff like this, right? These are the really good arguments against stuff like lolly. And Nux obviously does not give a fuck about any of that, otherwise he wouldn't be behaving the way he behaved.
Well, this is my criticism for both Nux and Mudaha, really. It's kind of like this very strong virtue signal to their audiences and other creators that they really care, but their actions are exactly the opposite of that. They don't give a shit. And I'm not saying they have to. I don't fucking care what they care about, but it's just like,
exactly. Don't try and make money from pretending to care. Exactly. You can't sit there and make money from pretending you give a fuck about fucking Vosh's folder leak when your boy has got 100 fucking thumbnails on his channel that look 1,000,000 times worse than that.
Oh fuck! I should have mentioned that in the video. That would have been a good one, actually. That is true.
Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure it has a whole video about Vosh's folder leak.
Yeah.
Oh, Vosh is supposed to be a pedophile. It probably doesn't say that exactly, but that's going to be the tone of it. Well, literally, this shit is on Nux's channel.
Well, I mean, again, it's like everyone keeps holding themselves to, or like taking public positions which either contradict previous positions, really quite shockingly, or that they'll never be able to maintain because fundamentally they just don't care.
It's like I got asked recently about using the word autistic or retarded because I've got like art commentary people in the audience. And I was like, I just don't care about language policing. I just don't give a shit. It doesn't matter. The only reason I'm not saying
I had such a funny comment at one point during the Sydney Bear stuff. I think just after the Sydney Bear stuff, someone was like, "Oh, I see Kuihman's just another misogynist. Damn, I thought this channel was cool." Like, okay. How many videos did you watch?
Yeah, I like that. God, I think Max sent me a Reddit comment earlier where it was talking about some drama, and they were like, "Yeah, Chud and Nick Diorio have covered this," and the comment was, "Those are Nazi channels," and I'm like, "Oh, Jesus."
Yeah,
it's just pathetic. But okay, cool. Do you have anything else for me, or
nope?
Does that sort of explain the position? Cool, awesome. Have a good rest of the stream, bro. Bye.
Yeah, I'm actually not sexist at all. That's a complete lie. I'm not a misogynist in any way. That was slander, what that post said about me.